Okay, now this is probably a first for ESPN and Boxing on the Deuce. Our co-feature will be a women's bout. We will take a look at Kathy Collins against Helga Risoy for the IWBF Junior Welterweight Championship. These two have seen each other in the ring before.
Not been involved?
Just over a year ago, Kathy Collins and Helga Risoy squared off in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The judges saw it as a 6-round draw. We had a chance to ask both Kathy and Helga their thoughts, starting with Kathy.
Helga is a good fighter. She's got a lot of experience. She's got a lot of height on me, a lot of reach on me. And I fought her a year ago in a fight that I clearly thought I won. I have a lot more experience now. I faced a lot tougher opponents. And for me, this is a measuring stick, just to see how far I've come in a year, which I know is pretty far, but now it's my opportunity to prove it to myself.
We have two different styles. And she was the aggressive, but she won the first round. But I turned it around. When I started boxing, turn around, I hit her more, and I boxed more. She was a little bit out of control. So I think it was a draw. I didn't win. I didn't feel that I won, but it was a draw.
Well, Al, this is a grudge match between the two. You've been here for a long time at ESPN. You get a chance from the co-feature to have a women's bout. Your thoughts on it and the styles of the two boxers?
You know, whether it's men or women boxing, styles are all important, and Helga Risoy commented on that. She's the tall boxer. Kathy Collins will be more aggressive, trying to come in. In the intervening fights, Kathy Collins believes she's perfected that style a little bit better, and she thinks that gives her the edge in this. It's going to be up to Risoy to use the jab and the height effectively.
Now, Risoy has been knocked out a couple times too, and she has some knockouts. Collins, an interesting story. She started in boxing to lose weight. She just got involved in the boxing workout program. She's lost 100 pounds. Now she's undefeated at 6-0-3 with 2 knockouts. It's really kind of an inspirational story.
It really is, and you know, as we've covered women's boxing, both on the amateur and professional level here, we found they have some intriguing reasons for getting involved in boxing. It usually does go back to conditioning, and then what they find is they have such an acumen for the sport and an interest in it, they take it to a competitive level.
All right, one of the preliminary fights ran over, so we are getting set for the fights that we're scheduled to bring you, and we'll take a timeout. And when we come back, 2 hours of live boxing action for you on the Deuces. Helga Risoy squares off against Kathy Wildcat Collins. Good crowd on hand here at the Claridge Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. 2 hours of live boxing action for you on the Deuce. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein. We're set to start. Here's our ring announcer, Patrick Waldron. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Claridge Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey, where tonight it's Guys and Dolls, the boxing extravaganza, brought to you by Dennis Rappaport Productions in association with Budweiser, the undefeated, undisputed king of beers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our first bout, a very special event, 8 rounds of boxing for the IWBF Junior Welterweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the judges for this fight are Henry Grant, Melvina Lathan, and Steve Weisfeld. The referee handling the action in the ring, Ed Johnson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks, weighing 138.5 pounds. Her record is 9 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 6 knockouts. She is from Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Helga Snowcat Risoy. And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, weighing 138.5 pounds. She has a record of 6 wins, no losses, and 3 draws. She is from Plainview, Long Island, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, going for her 2nd world title tonight, here she is, Kathy Wildcat Collins.
Ladies to center in the ring, please. Ladies to center in the ring. Ladies, both of you was giving you instructions to the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. I was respect like a man at all times. Touch the love
Ed
when the bell
Johnson
rang,
with the
come out
instructions.
fighting.
Let's take a look at the rules for tonight's bout. 2-minute rounds, no 3 knockdown, no standing 8. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee may stop the bout. Accidental foul, they'll go to the scorecards after half of the rounds are complete. Helga Risoy fighting out of Las Vegas. She was born in Norway. She's been knocked out 6 times. She's 9-8-2 with 6 knockouts. And Kathy Collins, you look over her right shoulder, she's 26 years of age. She has yet to lose, not a lot of knockout power. And something to note, Collins has never been past 6 rounds. Risoy has been 8 rounds once, suffering an 8th round knockout loss at the hands of Sandra Geiger. And she has gone 10 rounds, losing a decision. Take a look at the knockout ratio, 22% for 32% for Risoy, and
It's not 67.
no, Collins is 22%. That's why I said 22%, and that is correct for Collins. And Risoy is at 31%. Those are the numbers.
It's a rarity when I can know the difference about a numerical situation on this show to even correct something. So that's a big moment for me.
Risoy also has been knocked out twice in the first round.
Kathy Collins, as you see, giving away a lot in height and reach, and really very much like when you see it in the men's game. If you're short, you've got to get in and work to the body, which Kathy Collins is doing. She will crank up the left hooks, try and get inside the jab of Helga Risoy. But it's interesting to note that even though she's the shorter fighter, Collins probably has a more effective jab, or as effective a jab.
There's one common opponent, and it's a popular name in women's boxing, Andrea Deschang, the woman who has had the battles with Christy Martin. Risoy was knocked out in the 6th round by Deschang, whereas Collins scored a 6-round decision.
Helga Risoy trying to stay on the outside, use the jab, the straight right hand, and Kathy Collins would like to get in and crank up those hooks like she's doing.
Remember, these are only 2-minute rounds, 8 of them scheduled. We come to the end of round 1. Collins and Risoy in a bit of a slugfest. Welcome back to Atlantic City. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein, the IWBF Junior Welterweight Championship underway. Kathy Collins in the black trunks, Helga Risoy in the white trunks, scheduled for 8 rounds. And we take a look at some numbers, Al, in round 1.
Now, as you look at the punch profile numbers, and Kathy Collins landing at a good percentage, most of those punches were body shots. In fact, 74% were power punches. We're going to find out, you know, judges don't always look at body shots, and will they be counting those that she's throwing? They should.
Now remember, these are only 2-minute rounds, and those 50-odd punches translate, as Bob Canobio of CompuBox told us during the timeout, that translates to about 75 thrown in a 3-minute round, so they're at a pretty good pace.
In general, in women's matches, and I don't like to generalize the stereotype, nice right by Collins, they are very aggressive and very busy. They throw lots of punches because they know they only have 2 minutes to get the job done. So like amateur boxing, when you only have 3 rounds, you got to get it done. There's the jab of Collins now having an impact.
Collins with a good right hand that sends Risoy down. Collins has 2 knockouts in her career. They've all come in the 2nd round.
Hey, you all right? You all right?
Risoy says she's fine.
Kathy Collins told us she was better than before when they fought and had a draw, and I think she's right. And even though she doesn't have a huge percentage of knockout punching, she's getting the job done. And I think Helga Risoy is close to being out of there.
Here's where the 2-minute round works against Collins. Good hard jab by Collins. And that is the end of round number 2. A good round for Kathy Collins, the 26-year-old out of Plainview, New York, as she knocks Helga Risoy down in that 2nd round.
By the way, Kelsey Banks, there you see him, an Olympian and a former excellent professional in her corner.
Is she okay?
Yes, yeah. What is wrong?
Now let's take a look at the knock.
I talked about the left hook of Kathy Martin, but how about, or Kathy Collins, but how about the overhand right, which she lands here? Well, it started with the left hook and then a very straight right hand, and what made that punch good was that it was so straight, and it sent Helga Risoy down, and she had to try and get her wits about her.
Very quiet corner in Helga Risoy's corner. We begin round number 3. Referee is Ed Johnson. Just joined us, Kathy Collins and Helga Risoy for the IWBF Junior Welterweight Championship. This is a rematch. They fought a little over a year ago to a 6-round draw.
You mentioned that Kathy Collins had never been past 6, but what she's doing here is evening the score, if you will, because even though Risoy she's done so much body work and hurt Risoy so much in this bout that that's the equalizer in terms of the stamina question.
Take a look at some numbers in round 2.
Huge round for Kathy Collins, and landing at 76%, and no matter what your gender, that's pretty good.
Nice combination from Collins.
One of the things that Helga Risoy really needed to establish in this bout was her jab, and truthfully, she has not been able to. Collins has got inside it. In fact, you see Collins, her jab is a very strong jab. It's almost like a straight right hand. It lands with that much power. There's the hook. That body shot really hurt Risoy. I think the body work that Collins is doing is having an impact. Blood from the nose of Helga Risoy. So this one not going her way. That's a strong jab that Kathy Collins is throwing.
Watch that holding!
This fight is being won by Kathy Collins to the body because that's what's making those headshots work, and that's what's slowing Helga Risoy down. Excellent strategy, good game plan.
Final seconds of round 3. Kathy Collins and Helga Risoy on the deuce. 26-year-old Kathy Collins hugging Helga Risoy. Risoy does not answer the bell to start round number 4, and Collins is the new IWBF Junior Welterweight Champion. She knocked Risoy down in round 2, and now she dominated this bout.
Kathy Collins joyous.
What's up, everybody?
And why not? She did an excellent job in this bout on many levels. For one thing, her body work was tremendous. That's really what got it done.
Christy, I'm looking for you.
She throws out the gauntlet to Christy Martin, who does it. Let's take a look at the final punch count.
And there you look at the total numbers, and of those 103, I would venture well over half were body shots. 84 of 118 were power shots, and most of those were to the body. So for Kathy Collins, she's just short of perfecting that style, Bob. If she shortens her punches a little bit, she'll be even better.
Well, for the first time, at least that we can recall on ESPN or The Deuce, the co-feature was a women's bout, and a very successful one for Kathy Collins as she stops Helga Risoy. Risoy does not make the bell for round number 4. Here's Patrick Waldron with the official time of the stoppage.
Someone respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner was unable to continue at the end of the 3rd round. And the winner, and now holder of the IWBF Junior Welterweight Championship, Kathy Wildcat Collins.
Kathy Collins is your winner. We will